I am going to turn off my video for now, just so it's not distracting.
Okay.
And then I'm going to turn on and share with you my PowerPoint screen that I often use for working problems out.
Okay.
Okay, so you are looking at number 3.
Page 3.
Page 3, number 6. Right.
Yes, because there's 2 x's there that have to be solved for.
Okay, so the question you are looking at, if you can see my screen now,
Yes.
is 45 is equal to, could you read the rest of it to me?
Equal to 100 times x divided by 90 plus x.
Okay, so it looks like that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the first step you did was you came through and you multiplied by, you divided by or multiplied by 100?
I divided by 100.
Okay, that makes total sense. I completely follow where you went with that one. That decision, that's exactly what I would have done. So then you end up with 45 out of 100 is equal to x over 90 plus x.
Oh, you did it that way. I already see what you did. I got it.
You already got it?
I made a decimal. I made 45 a decimal point rather than doing it that way.
That doesn't change anything.
Then you can use the cross multiplication, right?
Yes.
100x equals 45 times 90 plus x. Is that what you did?
Actually, I would have stuck with the decimal too. I just wrote it that way off the top of my head, but that actually works too. There's multiple ways of doing math problems, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't make an illegal maneuver in math, you can solve equations perfectly as you like. And you just saw something that may work better for you, and that's perfectly fine. Doing it this way, like you just said, cross multiplying is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Because then I divide by 100 on each side.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have x is 45, 90 plus x over 100. Oh, but you still have 2 x's. See, that's just...
Okay, so you're here. Are you still with me where I am?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. The next step of what I would personally do is distribute the 0.45.
Right.
So 0.45 divided by 90 is going to give us 0.45 times 90. My apologies. 0.45 times 90 gives us 40.5 plus 0.45x is equal to x. Good so far?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you do next from here?
I would, what would I do here? There's x. I would I put the x's on both sides?
Yeah. Or on both sides or one side? I think you're trying to say
on one side. That's
side.
what I meant, on one side. Sorry. That's
yeah,
what
no. So you're going to go
on
minus
one side.
0.45x minus let me try that again. 0.45x to make that, to get them both on the same side. And of course, I don't mind keeping positive numbers personally. So that then gives you 40.5 is equal to 0.55x.
Wait. I lost. Oh, because you did you did x minus, wait, hold on. Oh, you divided, okay, wait.
Not divided. Let me try rewriting this for you. That might help.
Oh, so you did.
Give me one sec.
Wait,
I'll make 40. A new slide. One moment. Okay, keep thinking it through. Oh my
gosh, and I used to be good at math. This is really bad. Okay.
So we've got.
So you got 40.5 equals x minus 0.45x, right? Because you minus. Don't you minus 45x the dot for the.
Yes.
0.45x
exactly.
From each side.
You do, exactly. So you go
and then
minus, yeah, keep going.
Right?
Absolutely. So these cancel. You get
exactly.
40.
So you have 40.5 equals x minus, and x is 1.
Exactly.
Oh, x is like 1.
Yep.
So it becomes 0. I got it. 0.55x, and then
Yep.
you divide
Exactly.
by 0.55 on each side, right?
Precisely.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Oh,
come through,
I
you
got
go
it.
0.55. No problem. Yeah,
Okay.
it's you just were very eager to use the quadratic equation.
Yeah,
And
but that's harder.
well, I commend you for wanting to overcomplicate your life.
Yeah, to complicate my life. Exactly. I don't want to complicate my life.
Yeah.
I'm too old for that. Okay. I'm not a teeny bopper teenager anymore. So then I had another question. It's page 1-8.
Okay.
It's not for the answer. I noticed that they're write the following numbers in scientific notation, and there's a space in between the numbers, and I was wondering if that has some kind of significance or not.
On page 8?
Yeah, so page 1-8.
Oh shoot, I renumbered them and I'm looking at the renumbered version.
I think this isn't the renumbered version.
No, the renumbered version, they're all simple. They're numbered 1 through 14.
Okay, well, it's write the following numbers in scientific notation on the top of the page.
Okay, so that's like the 11th page. Yeah.
And it starts with 512 equals. Okay. And then it's 35,615. And then right under that, it has 0.000 space or 0. Now, I don't know if that's a mistake or if I just wanted to know if it had significance or not.
It doesn't. It's just a mistake in this doc. Well, not even a mistake. It's just how the spacing ended up in this document based on based on the colleague of mine who typed it up. I don't know why it wound up that way. It may have even been when I processed it through Adobe Acrobat. Adobe Acrobat may have decided to insert a space there.
Oh, okay.
Very annoying.
Okay, no, I just want to make sure that it had no. Okay, and then the next page where we had to solve the following without using a calculator. Yeah. And it has 10 to the 8th times 10 to the -6 times 10 to the -5, which if you add them all together is -3.
Wait, which one? Sorry, are you looking at?
Oh, it's the very next page.
Okay.
And then it says solve the following without using a calculator. And it's the 10 to, it's the 10 with the exponents.
Okay.
And they're the two equations, the last ones. One is 10 to the 8th times 10 to the -6 times 10 to the -5 over 10 to the 4th.
Right.
So 8 plus -6 plus -5 is -3.
Right.
Right, over 10 to the 4. Then you add, and you should get 1. Or am I wrong?
Careful.
Or -7.
Okay, which one is it?
So -3 minus +4. Oh, it's -7. Yes,
exactly.
Okay, but when I did it on a calculator, it came out to something weird. It came out to like -3. So I said, what did I do wrong?
Let's see.
It came out, or maybe I did it wrong on the calculator. I don't know. That's also possible. But I think I did it twice.
It is also possible that does your calculator have it? Did you do it with a calculator where you literally went 10 raised up to the power of 8 and then 10 to the -6 and I have 10.
The scientific, I have the, the TI 30 whatever 11S, what the one everyone has.
Yeah.
Calculator, scientific calculator. So
the key is, did you use like literally 10 and then raise it to the exponent, or did you
I used I used the function.
Did you use the 10 to the x that looks like this?
I used the function. So I never wrote a 10. I used the function where you press, and then you press the function for, to the 10 to whatever, and then you press the actual number and it gives you the power. So and it always works, but that's why I'm wondering.
What did it give you this time?
Oh, now I obviously don't have the
You said it was
calculator in front
-3,
of
right?
me.
Yeah, no, you said it was -3.
But I think it was like minus, it gave me a -3 or something weird that had nothing to do with what it should be.
Right. You have to be careful because are you sure you're not using the anti-log button?
No, oh, huh, good question. I don't think so. It's log on the regular, and then it's 10 to the 10 power, but I've always used that. Is could it be the anti-log button? I don't know.
That is technically the anti-log button, yeah. Especially if it's the one right over the log.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there should be another button for. Oh gosh, then I have to redo everything. Okay, that's good to know.
I mean, technically, theoretically, the anti-log button should work. Well, let's see. The problem with using the anti-log button is that's not what it's intended for.
Right. I thought it was. I can't even find that calculator now. I don't know where I put it, but all right, I'll redo those then. But so it is -7 in any case.
Yes, -7 is the correct answer.
Right. Okay.
My brain. Okay, so that's -2. Yeah, it should be -7. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then and then the one next to it is the 1. And then what was the last one? Page 111. Oh, okay. And then on the last page of the homework, where we're doing the rearranging the formulas.
Yes.
The letter K, it says solve for D _B. So I don't know if the 2 is not there because it wasn't able to be printed out, or if you're supposed to actually solve for DB and then get rid of the 2.
The 2 is an exponent. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I really should rewrite these myself.
So I did it for D to the second over B,
absolutely.
or with the B, but I wasn't sure if that's what I was supposed to do or not.
No, you're absolutely right. It's supposed to be DB and then in parentheses. I like to write it like that so you can actually see them and then separate.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that usually helps my brain to begin with, so I can understand how there would be some confusion, but it is supposed to be like this, squared. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. All right. And then I was reading the first chapter, or taking notes. And in the book, it says concrete and wood are heterogeneous, I'll say it right, heterogeneous mixtures. And I was wondering why, because concrete, aren't they just, I see it as, I don't know, everything like homogeneous is basically what I thought it would be, homogeneous, because I thought everything would be uniform. So I'm not understanding why concrete would be heterogeneous and not homogeneous.
This is where it gets a little annoying. Part of the problem with concrete is that it is a mixture, but getting it to mix, it is a mixture that you feel like at first should be a homogeneous or homogeneous mixture.
Right.
The problem is that the particulates generally don't blend perfectly. And so there is some variation in the distribution of particles throughout.
So how are we supposed to know that, though?
Well, generally, I won't ask a question that is that ambiguous when it comes to an exam. I mean, for example, if you think about, let me ask you one that hopefully is a little bit more, does it make sense to you that wood is a heterogeneous mixture? That wood is heterogeneous?
Well, I guess, yeah, I guess you have all the different, it seems like everything's smashed together so that it's not mixed perfectly.
So if you were to cut like rings into a piece of wood, right, you'd see that the distribution of plant particles are different throughout. The plant cells distribution are different. It's definitely asymmetric and therefore heterogeneous. If you were to look at the plant tissues throughout as well, it would be quite heterogeneous no matter which direction you cut the log itself.
Right. Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense to me.
Okay, good.
It was the concrete, but I mean, if you're, if you think about it, the concrete, the particles aren't perfectly, they don't mix perfectly. It makes sense.
Yeah,
I just see concrete is one color, and so I think of it as homogeneous.
It becomes much more difficult with things like concrete, though. But another example of something like that would be a stew, or you could even go to anything where the particles can eventually fall out of solution, if they ever separate out of solution. If they ever separate out of solution, that means automatically that is a heterogeneous mixture.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, in fact, the book used stew as an example.
Yeah, I mean, that is an example I prefer because it's a much more
clear
and
example. That's what I was thinking when I was reading these. And so I was like, they're not that distinct, I guess.
With the concrete, they should have specified, I think what would have made it more easy to grasp is if they said wet concrete or wet cement.
Right. Yeah.
Because then you'll get, like, eventually as it's drying, you get that layer of water on the top because it'll dry asymmetrically. And then you can kind of picture in your head the water separating out of it.
Right. Okay. And then my last one, frying an egg, chemical change. Okay, I can see how it would be a chemical change, but I see the liquid form and the solid form, but it's like water. They're the same, but I guess they're not, because it said it was a chemical change.
Okay.
That one threw me for a loop too.
That's a very good question. And I'm going to post videos tonight on all these topics for chapter 1.
Oh, okay.
They're not made by me, but they are people who I have watched the video of and go, yeah, this is pretty good. Some of the videos that I will post will be my own. I just happen to sometimes also appreciate the way that other people explain things. And I often think it's to your guys' benefit to hear another voice in the explanation of chemistry.
Sure.
I'm not so egocentric to the point where I think that the only voice that can teach is me. Now, chemical versus physical gets to the point where it's complicated insofar as much as you ask, that's not the question I want to ask. Was there the question I want to ask? Was there a rearrangement of bonds between atoms? Now, frying an egg is not actually the best example. Cooking in general is a chemical reaction. Frying an egg is a more complicated one. It is a chemical reaction, or it is a chemical change. However, it's a more difficult to grasp chemical change because it's actually the main thing you're doing is you're causing proteins to unfold.
Oh, okay.
And so that's more complicated to observe and grasp than it is to understand things such as the rising of bread or other ways that you cook things. I mean, frying stuff is definitely a chemical change because you're literally burning food. But I guess if you fried the egg, then you could also say that was the same thing. But if you hard boil the egg, it doesn't actually fry it, but the chemical change that is occurring is the protein is unfolding. You're causing it to denature.
Okay.
And but the main thing you're looking for is, was there a rearrangement of bonds between atoms? And if the answer is no, then it's physical.
Right. Okay.
And that's why the idea of water going from solid to water that is liquid is a physical change, because you don't actually break or alter the water molecules.
Right.
You just change how they are interacting between molecules. And if there is an answer of yes, then it is chemical. And of course, the one that most people talk about is combustion. There are a whole lot of other examples of that. But combustion is definitely a classic chemical reaction. Other examples of physical include just literally cutting something. Cutting a piece of material is also a physical change, because all you're doing is literally snipping something.
Right.
You don't, well, I mean, this gets complicated, because then people go, well, aren't you severing bonds between atoms? Normally, no. Anyway.
Huh. Good question.
Yeah, exactly. Generally, cutting a piece of material is a physical change, because you generally aren't altering the chemical structure of the substance. If you cut a piece of cloth, or if you cut, well, I mean, the classic example is if you go back to ice, cut through the ice. If you're cutting the ice, you don't actually alter the water molecules. You just sever the two pieces of solid.
Right. From one piece, it becomes two.
Exactly. But it's still water molecules, and you didn't alter the chemical nature.
Sure. That makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
Those were all my questions. Oh, actually, last one. Chapter 1, it was supposed to be done by the end of last week, but I'm not done yet.
And that's okay. That's okay. We will catch up, and there is some flexibility within the class. No worries.
So are there specific concepts you want us to learn in chapter 1? Because it seems like everything is important.
Yes.
Like a review.
The main thing I'm going to do is tonight, I'm going to get, in the very least, a module up for chapter 1, which is going to include videos that emphasize concepts, and it's going to include a homework assignment, and if I have the time tonight, to also get up a list of key concepts.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Great.
Hello, Professor.
Hello.
This is David Palmer.
Hey, David.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Is that they told me that I work at the hospital. They said that I should go home because I seemed a little off. So gonna see if I get tested tomorrow and see if I got this Omicron.
Oh man, I am hoping you don't have the Omicron.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm vaccinated, boosted, you know.
Good.
There's nothing more that I could do to, you know.
Certainly.
We mask all day at work. There's nothing more I could do. So
yeah.
Anyhow, I'm sorry that I missed a lab on Thursday. Is that those thunderstorms really threw me off, and I couldn't get back on a plane until Thursday.
Well, the good news is the main thing last week. So the two set lab sessions that I held last week were primarily question and answer sessions for people who had questions about the class, and the administrative questions, you know, like what sort of things are going to be graded, what's the format of the course. Yes, that's all in details in the syllabus, but of course people sometimes prefer an question and answer session rather than just reading it.
Okay.
And I gave an assignment. The assignment had a flaw in it, so I corrected that and I extended the assignment anyway. So the assignment is due Sunday night.
And how would you prefer that these assignments are submitted? Is that so? I mean, I printed out the copy that you sent over, but would you like our work as well?
I am a big fan of seeing work if you do any work, absolutely. So if you work it out and at the end, you know, just make it clearly, generally the way I like it laid out is, of course, page by page. In the future, if you do decide not to print out the assignment, at least tell me what page the assignment is from, and number the question, and make it easy to tell which question goes with which part of the assignment. Show your work, and then indicate your answer, and you're good to go.
Okay. The next question is that you had asked for us to get the physical copy of that book. Is it I was having a hard time really finding something that was, going to be here in enough time.
Right.
So I went ahead and got the digital version, the ebook.
Okay.
Is that fine?
That's fine. I hope I didn't make it like a absolute requirement. I don't think I said you have to have the physical copy of the book. I don't think I worded it that way.
On the syllabus, is that next to the title of the book in parentheses, it said physical.
Okay. So I just put physical book because I didn't want people buying the part with the mastering chemistry. That's the reason. I'll correct my syllabus, or I will update the syllabus to indicate all you need to have is the text. Just don't buy the copy that also includes the license for mastering chemistry, because we will not be using it.
Okay.
And I didn't want you guys to spend extra money on the assignments that I'm not going to assign.
Yeah, so I signed up for Pearson Plus. They have this $10 a month subscription thing where I can use the book as much as I need, and it'll read it to me, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I was curious about that other piece of literature that is below that on the syllabus, the lab manual.
Yes.
Do you happen to have like an ISBN for that? Because I was having difficulty finding that.
No, it is it is actually only a Cosumnes River College quote unquote publication. And by I say quote unquote because it literally is something that they have produced. So it's locally produced. It may be available in the bookstore. No one has actually given me a direct link to it. I have the ebook electronically. It is posted on the front page of the lab Canvas page. And in addition to that, I'm going to make sure that any assignments that are actually pulled from that, I email to you guys at least a day ahead of time, generally more than that, so you have time to prepare. So I will both provide the full copy of the entire lab manual to you already. And in addition to that, I will continue to pull out the section by section assignment and post that ahead of time.
Is it possible that you could share where I could get a digital copy of it?
Yeah, no, it's not a problem. Let me see if I can. I have no idea if I can send files through Zoom directly. Let's see here. Is there an option to do so? It does not appear that there is a way to do it directly there. Can you share files to chat?
Okay, let me check that out. Like there's just somebody who's up.
Sorry, I wanted to record this because you're actually giving me information that I don't have readily available at my fingertips. So if you don't mind repeating that for the recording, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So on the I can't remember what the tab says, but it says on the tutoring aspect is that it's really cool because what it seems like is if there's a tutor that's sitting there, and you can just drop in, and the hours are in the afternoon. I believe Monday was like 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. But all of them are kind of in the afternoon and in the evening. So even if you went to work, is that you could drop by after work and get your questions answered. And you could also drop off a question there, and it looks like somebody would send you a message back with the response.
Oh, that's awesome. That is really convenient. And I mean, it's all on Zoom, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Which means that even if you are at work, if you happen to be eager or very desiring of getting an answer to your question, if you've got that like 10-minute break or a lunch period, hypothetically, you could take a moment, log into Zoom, and even ask a question then.
That's right.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of opportunities, absolutely. And the fact that it's so readily available makes it possible for you to do from any place.
Yes, sir. I think that's about it.
Cool, awesome. No, outside of the tutoring, I will do my best to make sure that you guys have all of the videos available to you on the module. I'll provide homework assignments. The homework assignments are a very good place to start as far as studying goes, because the homework assignments are going to be the source of how I design my questions for exams, all on top of key concept lists that I will include as well. My goal being that you guys are not caught off guard, you're prepared, and that the exam is a as best possible measurement of the knowledge that you have gained from studying.
Got it. All right. Sounds good to me.
Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you very much.
You bet. Have a good evening.
All right. I'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.